Hey, welcome back to Knot Hardley Broken. I'm Terrence. Oh, no, wow. Let's see.
Behind the scenes of Knot Hardley Broken.
What up, though?
What's up? What's up? Media team in the cut.
Yeah, we appreciate our media team. Without them, where would we be?
Nothing.
Got to a soft moment in the conversation where we were able to kind of, both say, all right, let's stop this, let's resolve it, and let's move on.
But that was because the individual heart was toward each other and not ultimately not wanting each other. We just knew we were angry or frustrated initially, but at the end of the day, our heart was for each other. Even though, it's difficult to explain, but that's what I found happened along the way.
It happened, but that's not the objective, though. That's not what we want. That's not the takeaway. The takeaway is that, there's going to be arguments, but, one, you got to fight fair. Two, you got to know that, you both love each other and that you're not trying to hurt each other. It's just a miscommunication. And, three, you got a bond, and that, divorce is off the table if that's, if that's your mantra. If that's the code that your marriage lives by, that divorce is off the table. And so eventually you're going to have to come to a meeting of terms.
Well, we've talked about that then already, because that was in the story of us too.
It's kind of the same, but it's different. It seems.
Yeah, it's kind of the same, but it's different. It's just kind of like an extrapolation of it, where we're, dealing, we never said, we went weeks without talking to each other.
Okay, so let's make that the goal of where we're we're using that to get them to what? Because we're first of all trying to help them understand. We understand going weeks without talking, how you can be so angry with the other person and offended that they would either say or do whatever that they did in your perception, that you justify not talking to them. You justify it like they need to do better. They need to come correct. And all of that's built up on what? Selfishness, and on your own way.
Stubbornness, selfishness.
Yeah. And so then we come out of that saying, in order to be able to keep yourself from cycling through that every single week and day and month, what do they need to do?
You just need to realize who you're dealing with. You got to realize that, do you trust that your partner is not trying to, stab you in the back, not trying to hurt you. They just didn't understand, or they just missed it. And, where's the grace for that? So that makes sense?
Yep.
And just when you come to the realization that,
it's really a bonding issue.
Yeah, it's a bonding issue.
It really is a bonding
and it
issue.
takes time. It's a process.
It's a process because I got to know over time that you've been consistently there. But what about, so for the couples who it keeps on being a cut every single time they try, how do they get out of that?
They got to continue to bond and communicate. Something was missed in the process of getting to know each other. You know what I'm saying? Something was missed in the process of asking those questions about, who they were when they were growing up, and who they were with their parents, who they were without their parents, who they were in their environment. Did they grow up having to take care of themselves and their siblings, and that's why they selfish, or they don't want children,
So that's an ongoing questioning that we need to keep doing, that we were doing, that we kept on talking, kept on
revealing more about ourselves, being vulnerable.
That's good. From the securing your marriage.
Oh, okay.
Because you're talking about protect, your.
Well, we can do part 2 to when you dating and all that stuff. If we have a part 2.
Do we have a part 2 in us? Okay, let me think about what one of the questions was. Somebody asked us about dating and courting because I want you, but grow because I know that I'm supposed to be growing as a result of your interest into my life, not necessarily just because I don't want to be single anymore,
Right.
or anything like
Yeah,
that.
because we left off at, having your authority figures check them out. So what happens when the authority figures say yay, or what happens when they say nay? What do you do then? And then, now, if they say yay, how do you merge that into marriage?
And if they say no, okay, now you got to consider, what they see greater than you do.
Mm-hmm.
But what I was just saying is probably a little bit before that, or you think that's
fine. I mean, yeah, we can start there.
okay? All right.
I'll write that down before you forget.
Kenya, you're ready? Terrence, you're ready?
Voila! And
Clearly,
clearly. Had to have
and you
help.
gladly took them off my arm, off your arm. So.
You take that? Good. Good.
So, the question is, what do you do in the dating?
What do you do?
What do you do in the date when you? What do you do in the dating process when you find out there are things that you don't like about the person you're dating? Okay, so that's the question.
Water.
Get the man some water.
Water. Some pollen in this curtain over here.
Well, just let me know when you guys are ready.
Okay, we're ready as soon as Daddy starts.
Where my red Skittles? Thank you.
Skittles! Hi!
Definitely do us a favor and like, share, and subscribe. The subscriptions are going to be important, you guys, because as you want to hear more, if you subscribe, then our channel gets to be a little bit bigger and a little bit more impactful for the world, because we want to be able to help couples, singles all across the world. So do us a favor and make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Hit that bell so you can get all the notifications when we're on.